Hello, Pisces, and welcome to your October reading with me, Paula B. Energy. So glad you could be here. Let's take a quick moment to say a little prayer and ask that the messages be clear and concise. We're calling in our angels, guides, and ascended masters to help with this message, and that all who watch this video receive blessings and guidance. So mote it be. Okay, let's start out your reading with an oracle card, Pisces. Your first card is Full Moon in Gemini, and the message is embrace the flow of life. I like this for you. You're a water sign, so going with the flow is always what is best for you. You may have found that a little bit difficult in the last month, but this month the universe is saying to you, please just embrace the flow of life. Okay, your second oracle card is from the Language of Flowers Oracle, and your flower is Everlasting Daisy. The message is fortitude. Be brave and dig deep. And there's the daisy, so you can see it. Pretty. Be brave and dig deep. Well, let's dive into the reading and see what that's all about. Your very first card in your past energy row. Now, this will be the energy from now and the last 6 weeks or so. I'm going to show it to you upright first. It came out reversed. So your very first card is the Ace of Wands. Now, Wands is fire energy and has to do with the spark of creation and creativity, but you received this card reversed. And my first feeling on this thought when I received it was that you've been feeling a little stuck, like the creativity is gone, the fire and the passion has just been kind of bleh, everything's been meh, really, and you've been having a little hard time finding that spark of creativity or passion. That's okay. We go through seasons. You know, Pisces, more than any other sign, that life is about ebb and flow and embracing that flow. And it's when we resist the flow that we have that stuck energy. So if you're experiencing that now, don't worry. You're not going to stay there. You have been a little bit anxious, I think, and worrying about things. The Nine of Swords came up for you in your past energy. Nine of Swords is air energy. It has to do with our mind, the way we think. It also has to do with our communications. And the Nine of Swords is always the card of anxiety, of worrying about things that you really can't control, but they're, keeping you up at night. I know as a Pisces myself, I tend to worry about things that I actually have no control over. And that's really what this card is about. And it's also about you're coming to the end of that because it is the 9. Your last card in your past energy row is the Ace of Swords. So you are coming to the end of that worry, and you're coming to a point where you're going to have some truths. This is the sword of truth. It is also the sword of clear thinking. It's the beginning of the suit of swords. So it's fresh energy coming in, particularly for the mind. You might have come across an idea just as popping into your head, and maybe you haven't felt really passionate about that idea yet, but nevertheless, make note of it or write it down, because you're coming into a season where you're going to be able to implement those ideas. So there's your past energy. Present energy for the month of October. Let's see. Oh, the very, very lovely Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is the energy of dreaming, wishing, and having those start to be fulfilled. The Nine of Cups is often called the wish fulfillment card. And what we see is someone who has 9 cups. It looks like she's serving those cups, but it definitely looks like a celebration, right? Cups is water energy. This is your sign, Pisces. And water energy has to do with our emotions. And when we're dreaming and wishing, we are investing our emotions into it, right? Often the things that we want, the goals that we go after, are the ones where we're looking for a feeling. It might not necessarily be a thing that we're trying to get, or a position, or a certain circumstance that we're trying to achieve. But when we dream and wish about it, and when we think about it, we're actually imagining, well, how would I feel when I get this thing? How will I feel when I achieve this situation. So putting your feelings into it is going to be really important, and giving yourself permission to dream and wish. We have to do that first, right? Okay, your next card in your present energy is the Tower. Now, for those of you who know tarot, you know that the Tower signifies an unexpected event or epiphany. The Tower is the card of change. We see a lightning strike. We see a building being cracked. We see things falling from the tower. Sometimes when we have a tower situation in our life, it can feel catastrophic. Sometimes we're choosing to leap from the tower, right? We're choosing the situation because we need that big change to effect what we want to accomplish in our lives. So the Tower is not always a bad card. Often the Tower signifies an epiphany. Now, if you're not familiar with that word, the word epiphany means you have the aha moment where you're suddenly you're thinking, oh, I'm looking at this differently and I never thought of it that way before. And it really changes the whole situation for you. Your perspective gets changed. It's not that the situation is different, but how you look at it makes it different. And of course, once you start acting differently, then that changes the situation. Everything starts with us. So this Tower moment, I would not be scared of it. I would be embracing that change. All right, and then immediately after the Tower, we can't make this up, you have the Fool. So what happens right after a big change? Well, you have a new adventure. You have a fresh start, and that's what's coming for you, Pisces. A fresh start. I feel like this will probably be, I'm going to guess after the first week of October. October actually starts in the middle of a week this year. So look for a fresh sense of adventure around the 10th is the message that I'm getting at this moment. The Fool is the very first card in tarot, and it shows a young person who's very carefree, not really looking where he's walking, and he's not carrying a lot with him. Look, there's not much in that knapsack. He has faith that everything is going to work out to his best ability and what is best for him or her. So embrace this newness that's going to be coming to you, Pisces. I really like this for you. A new sense of adventure, a release of that anxiety and worry about things. Big change. Your future energy is super exciting because the very first card in that row is the Sun. Now, this is a card that blesses the entire reading. It's often a card, we call this the best card in all of tarot because it's really showing that you are blessed, that things are starting to go your way. Again, I will say probably about the 10th, you're going to feel a turnaround in October. And it's going to feel like things are moving a little bit better, a little bit brighter for you. Also, I heard when this card came out, I heard you need to get outside. You need to get a little bit more sunlight. That can be very helpful for you. Your second card in your future energy row is the Nine of Wands. Now, Wands is fire energy. As we spoke about before, you were feeling maybe a little stuck with that fire energy, with that passion and drive. But here with the Nine of Wands, what we see is someone who has conquered some things, and now they are basically defending what they love. The fire energy of Wands is about passion, desire. It is about going after what you want or defending what you love. For me, this is the card of setting boundaries. Notice that all of those wands are in a line behind her. She's standing there in front of them and she's saying, okay, this and no further. So when you're setting boundaries, you're going to be setting them for yourself first off, because that's where boundaries start. And the boundary for you, Pisces, is to determine what is you and what is everyone else, because that's always what we struggle with. So to do that, you need to tap into what you want. That's where the Nine of Cups comes in. What do you want? What are you dreaming about? What are you imagining? How are you imagining that you're going to feel? And once you tap into that, then you're able to solidify, okay, I want this thing. Now, what has to happen for me to get it? And what doesn't have to happen, right? Because boundaries tend to be the things we don't want or the things that we're not going to allow, right? And it starts with us. What am I not going to allow? How am I going to boundary myself? You're a cup, Pisces. You can share your cup with people, or you can keep it to yourself. You're not a pitcher. You're not designed to just overflow all the time and give everything that you have to everybody and leave nothing for yourself. That's just going to drain you. So setting those boundaries is really going to be key for you to receive the blessings and to really start making progress on your dreams coming true. Your third card in your future energy, Pisces, is the Four of Cups. Now, fours tend to be a number that signifies stability. What we see here, though, is someone who seems to be kind of wrapped up in gazing at those cups in front of him, and he's completely ignoring this mermaid who has another cup, another opportunity. Now, this card can signify stuck emotions, wallowing in self-pity, or feeling sorry for yourself. Sometimes it signifies we're just not seeing the opportunities that are in front of us. So whenever this card comes out, it's a signifier to us to pay more attention. What are the opportunities? Maybe we're so used to looking at things from this perspective that we're not changing our perspective a little bit to see it in a different way. And then bam, here's the opportunity. So good advice there. Now, what are your challenges going to be this month? All right, your very first card that came out as a challenge was the Two of Cups reversed. Now, upright, this card is the card of true love and partnership. It can be partnership with the divine, of course, first off, but it can also be true love or partnership with another person. And it really is a card of unity. But you received it in the reversed position, upside down. It still signifies unity, but it also gave me the feeling, the message I got from it when it came out was the feeling of being disconnected, even if you're not actually disconnected. So that to me was the key message. You might feel as if you're disconnected from your loved ones, but in actuality, you are not. So that's where your challenge lies is, are you getting stuck in that energy of only looking at, oh, I feel disconnected, but in reality, you are connected at all times to both those that you love and to the divine. Your second challenge card, Pisces, is the Queen of Cups. And I'm going to say that pairs perfectly with the Two of Cups because the Queen of Cups, she operates from her heart, right? She's very connected to her heart energy. She knows exactly what she needs to accomplish and what she wants. And it's everything that she does is out of love. So how is this a challenge? Well, are you operating out of love? Are you motivated by love? Are your actions, your words, your thoughts, are they based in love? Or are they based in fear? Ooh, that one lands kind of hard, doesn't it? Okay. Now, your third challenge for the month is the World card. In this deck, it's shown as the Green Man. And the World card is a card that signifies all of the lessons that we have previously learned and that we've learned some lessons and we're starting a new cycle. So we're coming to the end of a big cycle and we're starting a new one. How is this a challenge? Well, often when we come to the end of a big cycle, we have this big feeling of, whew, okay, I've been slogging along here, trying to get this accomplished. Finally, it's done. And we sometimes have a feeling of letdown or heaviness. For you, Pisces, is going to feel heavy, right? So because that's how you process emotions. When you're feeling great, you feel light and kind of airy and woohoo, and things flow. And when things are, winding down or things are harder, it feels like slogging through mud for you. So I'm going to say that part of, not all, but part of October, I'm feeling about halfway through October, you're going to feel a sense of it's going to feel a little sloggy, and then it's going to start to lift. It may lift gradually for some of you. For some of you, that tower moment may spark a big release. So watch for that, and know your challenge is to know that this too shall pass. Okay, now what are your blessings? Let's get to that, because that's the good stuff. All right, your very first blessing is the Three of Wands. Now, the Three of Wands, fire energy again, but here in the Three of Wands, he's made a decision and he's actually taking action. Sometimes people call this the card of your ship is coming in. It's a card that indicates, okay, so let me back up. In the tarot story, the Two of Wands is at crossroads. That was the card that came right before this one. So at the crossroads, you have to make a decision. This is the very next card. This is the card that says you made the decision, you've taken some action, you're feeling that fire and passion to move forward. And now you are basically doing the actions and also waiting to see the fruits of your labors, right? So you will be taking some actions. That's a blessing in itself. That's the removal of stuck energy. And some blessings are going to be coming to you. I like that a lot. Your second card in your blessings row is the Seven of Pentacles. Bear in mind that not all of your actions are going to bear fruit right away. The Seven sometimes can be, I don't want to say stuck energy. It's more like waiting. In the Seven of Pentacles, Pentacles is earth energy, so it's a little slower. It has to do with your resources. And what we see here is a farmer, and he's right next to this bush or shrub, some kind of plant here that has a bunch of pentacles on it that represents the fruit of his labors. And he's actually stopping and contemplating, are these fruits ripe? Is it time for me to harvest them, or do they need a little bit more time to grow? Do I need to invest a little bit more effort into it before I harvest them? So that can be a blessing, because when we stop to think, okay, is what I'm doing working? Number one, is it not working? Is what I'm doing actually bringing me results, or am I wasting my time and energy? That thought process of discerning what kind of return, what ROI we're getting is really, really important for moving towards our goals. You don't want to continue to put your effort into a goal that's not giving you anything back. So as a blessing card, it's fantastic. You'll be able to take some time this month and really look at all the things that you're doing. Where are you inputting your time, your money, your energy, your health, your relationships, your career, if you have one. So all of those things are your resources. Where are you investing those resources? What kind of return are you getting back on the resources? And then at that point, you can determine what actions you want to take, which is your third blessing card. So you've got to have that time of reflection first before you can put your actions forth. In the Eight of Wands, again, fire energy. It is the energy of action, passion, and drive. And what we see here is the eight is all of those wands are pointed in the same direction. This is your actions all going towards the goal. Not scattered all over the place, but all going towards the one goal. And you need that time of reflection in order to figure out what direction do my actions need to take. All right, now your last card is the card that is on the bottom of the deck, and that is the energy that underlines the whole reading. The card that you received in this deck, it's called Karma. It's actually the Judgment card. Karma and Judgment, same thing, right? And the Judgment card is the card of rebirth. It's the card of moving from old life to a new life. And so we're in a transition right now. You particularly, Pisces, are in a transition where you are moving from portions of your old life are moving away and you're starting anew. Remember, we have the World card and we have the Fool in this reading. So yes, ending and a beginning and starting something fresh, being able to have new energy and new excitement. Okay, so You have one more card. I hope you've stayed to the end. We have an oracle card from the Solitary Witch Oracle. I chose this in honor of Halloween at the end of this month. And your card is called the Blessing and the Banishing Candle. And basically the message of this is, as you grow older, you too would do well to find the balance in the inevitable turning of the wheel. You are becoming a wise one, and in time, your older self will welcome you and share with you so much. Until then, banish what cannot bring balance. Bless what can help you rise, and find the lightness of being available to you at all ages. Do not remove your wise old self from the world. You are a blessed, wise being, and all points on the wheel are sacred. Find balance. Seek harmony in life and within your own self. Find a way to embrace the changes life can bring. You will have a sense that your wisdom is shifting, changing, yet becoming more truly your very own. A calm energy that accompanies you, drawing other beings who can trust in your energy. Wise yet wild. Lighting the dark, warming the cold, inside and outside of you. Ooh, I like that. You are the last sign in the zodiac Pisces, and many of you are wise old souls here on earth, lighting the way for others. Thank you so much for being here. Do all the YouTube things, like and share and subscribe, and I will see you next month. Many blessings. Bye.